I had a situation many years ago where when my family gets together on my mom's side, I have 30 plus cousins, and it's probably a far larger number than that. But when we get together at family reunions, we play the dozens. Now, if you don't know what that is a tradition in the African American culture where we it's also called the Joneses. It's also called riding. You may know it today as wild style, like at the end of Wild and Out, where we say jokes about each other, and usually most things are not off limits, but we do it to get the funny, and most of the time emotions are left out. However, I had one cousin of mine who we were the same age. He was a few months older than me, so we were same grade, and that was one of my best friends at the time. He had a, shall we say, a dalliance that did not go well when he was a young man and he was dating his soon-to-become wife. And we all knew about it. Now, it was one of those things, I'm one of the people, I'm a vault. If you tell me something, that's a secret forever. I'll take it to my grave. Just like now, my cousin who I'm talking about is passed. He's passed away. I'm still not going to tell you what it was. You know, and he's gone. There's no ramifications now, but I'm not going to tell you. Anyway, we are having a good time, and most people don't mess with me because when it comes to the funny, when it comes to the jokes, I am a killer. I got Mamba mentality. I will take you out, and most people don't want this smoke. I have another older cousin. He's married to my cousin, and he's a very large fellow. He played professional football in the NFL for a little while, and then he became a policeman. Yeah, because that's a good mix. And he would get on that oil. He would drink, and when he drank, he would say things, and you'd be like, oh God, where is this going? And he took it past the line. He said some things where he didn't reveal the secret. I don't even know how he found out, but he didn't reveal it, but he took it there. And my cousin got so angry that actually his reaction to what was said made everyone really wonder what's going on. This entire thing is about loyalty and betrayal, kind of a part 2 to last night's wonderful live stream where Cortney and I went in and dug deep on season 2 of Bridgerton. Because those who don't know the value of loyalty can never appreciate the cost of betrayal. Hello, Governor. This is Rakai Steed, nupefromdaville, and we're here as a follow-up to last night's outstanding live stream where Miss Cortney Scott Wright and myself did a deep dive, a breakdown of season 2 of Bridgerton. The one theme that kept coming up, what we kept discussing, was loyalty and betrayal. You know, I used to think that one of the biggest assets to a relationship is communication. But I soon learned it's not communication, it's comprehension. See, if the only thing you do is wait for your rebuttal, or the only thing you do is listen just so you can get your get back, then we're not going anywhere. We're just two people saying stuff in a circle because no one's taking the time to comprehend what the other person's saying, put themselves in each other's shoes. And we got a lot of that when we were talking about Kate and Edwina Sharma in Bridgerton. And I was just looking at, why is that such a familiar trope. Like season 2 of Bridgerton was explosive. So why is that a trope? Because that's been used many times before. And if you look at other movies where you use best friends, siblings, family members, and the whole topic of loyalty and betrayal became the overarching theme, that's one of those ones that you can almost trace that back to many popular movies, and we ate it up every time. So let's just go with a few that are in my wheelhouse, and that's mostly science fiction kind of stuff. So let's go Star Wars. Anakin, Obi-Wan. Mentor, mentee, best friends. Then a little madness set in, and it seemed like the loyalty was out the window, and it became full-on betrayal, to where the one is literally the scion of the dark side, and the other one is a champion of the light side. Captain America, Civil War. You have Captain America and you have Iron Man. Two different sides of the same battle, but because they see it differently, and because a situation pops up with Winter Soldier, loyalty quickly turns into betrayal. X-Men. You know, X-Men 97 has been hot in the charts and is one of the greatest animated shows that's out right now. Charles Xavier and Magneto. Best friends. Then the betrayal happened where they became rigid enemies. And then there was a death and they seem to be friends again. And then that death is reversed and now they're enemies again. Like it's a lot. Creed 3. You have Creed and his buddy that just got out of prison, and the whole scene on how he ended up even going to prison, the loyalty, the betrayal. You know, Creed took off. He left his partner, and his partner went to jail for all those years. And when he got out, it seemed like, hey, I'm happy to see you. I'm help you get back on your feet. But a revenge plot was in the making the entire time. There are so many. You look at little things. Star Trek. Captain Kirk and Khan. Friends, colleagues who became enemies. Look, Superman, Lex Luthor. Friends that became enemies. That trope has been there for, go all the way back to Macbeth. Shakespeare wrote about Macbeth that was about loyalty and betrayal. It has been there. One of the situations that this reminded me of was another very popular thing in pop culture, which was Hamilton. Now, you're wondering, where's the loyalty and betrayal? Now, if you remember, the oldest sister, Angelica, was the first one to meet Hamilton. And she wanted him just as much as he wanted her. But she knew her duty to the family. Their family was losing money. They needed money. She needed to marry for position. She needed to marry for wealth. And as much as she wanted Hamilton, she couldn't do it because she had a duty to her family. Very much the exact same as what we see with Kate Sharma. We see the same thing with Kate Sharma. She has a duty to the family. The only difference with the sisters in Hamilton was that they still had some money. They had plenty of influence. The Sharma family had no money and didn't have any influence. And they were banking on what little bit they had to wind them into a new situation. Now, the difference between these two situations is the loyalty part, because Angelica introduced Hamilton to her younger sister. Now, part of that was selfish because she wanted to keep him around and be close to him. But she knew that if she couldn't have him, her sister had fallen head over heels in love with him too. And she knew that if she told her sister that she saw him first, that she wanted him, her sister would back off of him. So she said nothing. And essentially, like really, gave him to her sister. Which is what Kate was trying to do. But Kate could not remember what the mission was. And Kate was already out of pocket. She couldn't deny, and really more so, and I guess it was a different situation because with Angelica and Alexander Hamilton, he saw his wife, but he didn't see Angelica on a daily basis. So it made it easier for him to focus on his wife until after they're married and the whole thing. Kate was mentoring her younger sister and trying to guide her, and she kept running into the conflict, which was Anthony Bridgerton. And he was a whole problem on his own because he could not refuse his denial. As much as Kate frustrated him and made him angry, she vexed him. It made him more curious and more, I don't know, because at first it came off as lustful, but it came off as where he was denying himself too, that he was looking at his duty to his family and denying himself love. No, the thing about betrayal is it's heavy. And you find that in relationships, and some of those relationships are familial, some of those are collegial, some of those are people that you work with. And you'll find that some people just are not loyal to you. They're loyal to their need of you. And once their need changes, so does their loyalty. Now, unfortunately, I've had that happen to me in work relationships and intimate relationships. And it's hurt every time. And you think, you know what? I should know better. I will learn my lesson for next time. And the sad thing about it is, when next time comes, it feels like the first time because the situation looked different and it's almost you're knee deep, waist deep in it, and you're like, shit, I'm in the same situation again. And sometimes it's hard because sometimes people see your kindness as a weakness. And it's very easy to become hard-hearted. And, you know, a lot of times people, their situations, their environments turn them into savages. And a lot of good people are ruined because they didn't get therapy or they didn't rectify past hurts. We have a penchant for taking out our current and past hurts on people who haven't inflicted that hurt on us. Or even if they do, we go above and beyond. Because if you're going to hurt me, this feeling is familiar. And I'm going to give you everything that you don't want. I'm going to make sure nobody hurts me again. You're going to feel me. You know, I read a quote that said that trust is earned, respect is given, and loyalty is demonstrated. And betrayal of any one of those is to lose all three. And that is so very true, and it's hard to get back once you've lost any of those. It's not impossible, but it takes give from the two people or the multiple people that are in the situation. One of my favorite sayings is, you can't fix a situation that you refuse to face. You have to be able to face any situation head on, and that's hard for a lot of people. I didn't want this to last long because we went long last night talking about Bridgerton and the situations with the Sharmas and Anthony Bridgerton, and even Penelope and the situation with Eloise. But I did want to end with this. Betrayal only hurts because it is from someone who is close to you. And it's very easy to close yourself off to make sure that that doesn't happen again. But at the end of the day, that only ends up hurting you. Forgiveness is the hardest thing to do in the world, because a lot of people actually still think that forgiveness is for the other person. When you forgive someone, that is for their benefit. But no, it's for your benefit. You cannot allow someone else's treatment of you change the fundamental way that you treat people. When people see you, when people come across you, and this is just me speaking, I feel like they should always see the Lord's light shining through you. If you're a good person, be a good person. Now, that doesn't mean to not have your antennas up, not to have your spidey sense tingling, but be who you were meant to be. Walk in the footsteps that the Lord has laid out for you. That's it. This is Rakai Steed, nupefromdaville. Make sure that you go and check out last night's live stream. If you have not, the link is in the description. Make sure you like, leave a comment, share this. Somebody else may need to hear this. And if you've not done it already, please subscribe. Thank you. It's all about this, and it's all about this.